I'm going to make a quick little preaching video, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how God takes care of me, and He could take care of you too if you wanted Him to, but that's just a matter that's between you and the Lord, and I'll let y'all work that out amongst yourselves. But every month I give a certain amount of money to help support work that I think needs to be supported. And I send some money to a preacher in Georgia, and I send some money to a missionary in Africa, and I send some money to support a kid that lives in Rwanda. And I give some money to a church in Georgia, and I give some money to a church in Maine, and I give some money to a church in South Carolina. And every month when I get my money, I just send it out. And this month I wanted to give more than I had, and I also have a situation coming up where I'm going to have to pay money that I haven't been paying for my student loans, and that just has to do with I took some money out of the bank to do that stuff down in Georgia and not realizing that they were counted as income. So now they're saying my income was so high that I'm going to have to pay an extra like $300 to $400 a month on student loans, and that's a lot of money coming out of my little pile. And it would be real easy to say, well, I can't give money to all these other things because of that, but I'm sort of thinking the opposite. I'm a believer that if you live on faith and you just give, that God gives back more abundantly. And my dad believed that you can't outgive God. So this month I just gave to everybody I wanted to give to and figured I'll work out the details of how to pay the bills later. Well, an interesting thing happened, and it's with the Jeep. The Jeep, I had it running. It was running great. I was so happy. I was saying, thank you, Lord, for making my Jeep run, and then it just quit. So I pulled the new carburetor off of it. That's this new Carter carburetor that I bought. And man, the parts for this thing are so tiny. Now, I asked somebody, I said, are these parts getting littler, or is my eyes getting worse? But for example, this is a pin that goes in like the clutch thing, and it's like, man, how do they make pins so tiny? It's about the size of a needle, and I can barely even see it. Well, anyway, in the process of cleaning this thing out, there was a ball that went in this hole right here. Now, when that ball came out, I put it in this bag, and I put this bag in this tray, so there was no chance of losing it. And as I was putting this back together, that ball is gone. It's just gone. It's not in this tray anywhere. Somehow it managed to get itself lost from out of the bag, from out of the tray, and it's just gone. So, oddly enough, the other day I got a check in the mail for like $142 from an insurance company that I didn't know was coming. And the other day I was telling my wife about this carburetor situation, and she said, well, just pray. Let's just pray that the Lord will take care of that for you. Well, this check came in the mail, and when I lost that piece, I had just discovered the check in the mail. And I had a thought, I'll go see what I could buy a carburetor for. I wonder if I have enough money with that check to buy a different kind of carburetor. Well, I went in there and I found a Motorcraft 2150, and I've read that that's a really good carburetor for a Jeep. It does require an adapter, and I found someone that makes those adapters, so I've ordered one. And I'm thinking, well, maybe that's God's way of taking care of me. Maybe He just sent me the money so I could buy a good carburetor instead of messing around with these Carter carburetors that's been driving me crazy, so that I'll never have problems with the Jeep again. So we're going to see if that works. But I just wanted to share that because I really believe this thing about, God takes care of me, and I'll live by faith, and I do give money, and I give time, and I give things because I want to, and it makes me feel good. And I put this on Hot Rod because I believe God blessed my life so much that I could own this wonderful car. And He's blessed my life so much that at the age I'm at, there's a lot of guys my age that can't get up and walk around anymore. They've gone, their legs have given out, their health's given out, and I can still do all those things. God just continued to bless me. So I decided I'd share that. That's my preaching for the morning. I'm going to stop preaching now. Maybe I ought to say a little prayer for that Jeep before I rip the seats and the floor out from under it. But I'll keep y'all posted on what happens with that. Love y'all. See you. Bye.